All right, everybody. Today I'm going to talk about Chapter 3, analysis of Chapter 3 in the Pearl Packet. So if you're absent or I'm absent today and you need to have someone help you out, I'm here to do that right now. The first thing I want to talk about is diction and tone. Diction, go ahead and highlight these words. Diction is word choice, and I'm going to accentuate that it's a choice, that the author chooses one word over another word because he was trying to make you feel something. Okay, so we're going to highlight diction, and he's trying to create an effect. So he can choose one word over another just to be sarcastic, or he choose another word or another to be more warm or inviting, or he could choose a word to make it more powerful or more intense or sad or angry. So there are two definitions that you need to know about diction. Denotation is the dictionary definition of a word, and connotation is the way it makes you feel, okay, and how you have attitudes associated with the word. All right, so now let's look at the definition for tone. The other day we talked about mood. Now, mood, I'm going to write this down right below it because I want you to remember it. Mood is the way the reader feels, okay? And so, tone is very different. It's the writer or speaker's attitude. So it's the way the writer feels, okay? It's the way the writer feels about something. Okay, write these notes in. Okay, so in this particular passage we're about to read, you're going to get a definite feeling about what the author feels, what Steinbeck feels. All right, so now that we understand that tone, we're trying to discern what Steinbeck is feeling, let's read this passage right now. And I want you to underline any words while we're reading it that gives you a clue as to what Steinbeck feels about something, okay? What is his attitude towards something, okay? So we're going to read this together. All manner of people grew interested in Kino, people with things to sell and people with favors to ask. Kino had found the pearl of the world, the essence of pearl mixed with the essence of men, and a curious dark residue was precipitated. Every man suddenly became related to Kino's pearl, and Kino's pearl went into the dreams, the speculations, the schemes, the plans, the futures, the wishes, the needs, the lusts, the hungers of everyone, and only one person stood in the way, and that was Kino, so that he became curiously every man's enemy. The news stirred up something infinitely black and evil in the town. The black distillate was like the scorpion, or like the hunger in the smell of food, or like loneliness when love is withheld. The poison sacs of the town began to manufacture venom, and the town swelled and puffed with the pressure of it. I definitely think that you get a feeling of Steinbeck, his attitude. So now what I want us to do is to look at the prompt. How does the diction choices, the word choices, create Steinbeck's tone, his opinion of society? Okay, so what's his opinion of people? What's his opinion of society? What's his opinion of people in that town? Okay, so down here, you're going to fill this in. Steinbeck's perception of society is, now you tell me, is he happy with society? Is he discontented? Is he angry with them? Okay, I'm going to give you a word right now. Cynical. I'm trying to remember how to spell cynical. Dang it. Cynical. Okay? And cynical means very negative. Okay? It means like you're very pessimistic about people. You're very pessimistic about a situation. So I think his perception of society is cynical. He doesn't trust them. He thinks they're greedy. He thinks they're cruel. Okay, now let's fill this in. He creates a blank and blank tone. So let's write down two words here that describes the tone. A negative, would you agree? He feels negative, and angry tone. The words, now here's where you put in text. Give me some text from up here that proves he's negative or angry. Now you'll give me another piece of text that proves that he's negative and angry. And then you'll write Steinbeck in it. And what page was it? I believe it was all from page 23. Okay, so the words blank and blank have a, let's say I'm trying to think of a word that's not this one or this one or this one. A frustrated connotation. So you get the idea, he's really frustrated with humanity here. Why do these words right here, why do these words and these words suggest something about frustration, anger, or negativity? Okay, so down here on your CM, you're going to analyze the text. You are going to tell me why that text is negative. Okay, you can also tell me why Steinbeck is negative in your CM. Okay, don't be stingy here. Give me a good explanation. Okay, that's all we're doing for this page on tone. So now we're going to turn the page, and we're going to go to page 5, because remember I made a mistake on page 4 here. We're going to the second page, which is about figures of speech. And last night I had you underline and label figures of speech in your book. So you not only annotated for Kino, you were also looking for those figures of speech. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to model for you right now what you're going to do down here. I'm going to show you how to do it right here. So I've chosen this particular text, and you will choose your text down here. One of the passages that you labeled as simile, metaphor, or personification, you will choose one that you know you can do a really good, powerful job of analyzing. So here's one I chose. The doctor would not come, Kino said to Juana. She looked up at him, her eyes as cold as the eyes of a lioness. This was Juana's first baby. This was nearly everything there was in Juana's world. I want you to see I documented it. So to start the analysis of actually this simile, right? Her eyes as cold as the eyes of a lioness. What I did is I looked at the key words in that simile. Cold. Okay, and I when I think of cold, I think of not warm, stark, and then also unyielding, like so cold that they're not going to give in. Okay, they're not happy, they're not warm and inviting. They're very powerfully driven. And then I looked at the word lioness, which is also a main word in this simile. Lioness is, you think about a mama lion, she's protective, she's fierce, and she's extremely dangerous when you get between her and her cub. All right, so I did my commentary, and here is an example of what you'll do. Steinbeck uses the simile, so you'll name it, the metaphor, the personification, to illustrate. Now tell me, why did he use a simile comparing Juana to a lioness? And I wrote, to illustrate that Juana was fiercely protective, like a lioness would be with a lion cub. She was unyielding in her love and dangerous emotions. And if someone tried to get in her way. And so I was analyzing the simile. Why did Steinbeck use that simile? And it's a good one. I mean, to compare her to a lioness, it's interesting. She doesn't speak up much, and now suddenly she's demanding things. It's really a powerful moment. Then I want you to draw what your simile looks like. So I drew Juana like a lioness, and in her eyes, they're very cold and hard. She can only see one thing, and that's her baby. And so I drew a little baby in her eyeballs, so it shows that. And I show kind of a face of a lioness. My teeth are not very threatening and frightening, but you get the idea. Now what you're going to do is, out of all the pieces you underlined as you were reading, I want you to choose one that you think, oh wow, I can really analyze this simile, metaphor, or personification. You'll list the key words of the comparison, and you'll write maybe some description about them to help you get started. And then you're going to you'll write your commentary. You'll label it. You'll label the tool, either simile, metaphor, or personification here, and then you'll analyze it and you'll draw a picture of it. Now, when you finish this, that's it for today. You will then, you can start reading chapter 4. And in chapter 4, you only have to annotate for keynote. You don't have to underline figures of speech anymore. And so let's go ahead and get started.